Hey, timeless travelers, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Oh my God, guys. So today we are going to recap and review our time spent on the Voyages Scarlet Lady. So if you haven't had a chance to watch those previous videos while we were actually on the ship, I'm going to pause here, give you a chance to pause, go back and watch those other 4 videos. Okay, we're ready? Okay, great. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to talk about 4 things. I'm going to break this review down into four categories: the ship, the food, the entertainment, the value. All right, so strap in, grab yourself a drink. This is Goombay Punch. It is from the Bahamas. It is kind of a mix in my mind of like Tahitian Treat and Mountain Dew. So grab your beverage, strap in, and let's go.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
All right, guys, so let's get started. Whew. First things first, let's talk about the ship. So the ship itself is absolutely beautiful. Like, it is obviously it's a brand new ship from Virgin Voyages, the Scarlet Lady, mermaid themed, and it was glorious. She was chef's kiss. It was a beautiful ship. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the room. So we had a sea terrace room, which was phenomenal. We loved it. The room was pretty spacious, not as big as some of the rooms that we've had lately, some balcony cabins that we've had, but it was pretty spacious. The one thing that I did have to say about the room, the bed was kind of low to the ground. Didn't bother me. It was just an observation. The bathroom was kind of small. We did have kind of a small bathroom, especially with Will being the size that he is. The rain head shower and then the shower wand was, great in the shower, but what it was kind of small. And we love the balcony. Again, balcony was kind of small, but we did enjoy the hammock on the balcony. So that was great. The spaces around the cruise. So we did love some of the unique spaces around the ship, like the boxing ring. Let's get into that pool. It was small, guys. It was definitely small. It was like a resort pool where there was areas where you could just lay down in the water and just hang in there. And then there were areas where you could just actually get in the pool, and it was, chest high or whatever. Definitely weren't doing any laps in there. You definitely weren't preparing for the Olympics in that pool. It was definitely small. Bimini Beach Club. Now, I say that because I think of that as an extension of the ship, honestly. The Bimini Beach Club, we absolutely loved it as well. We had a great time there. It was a lot of fun. We had a clamshell on the beach because we got there really early in the morning before everybody else got there. We got off the ship really early, so we were able to secure a really nice spot on the beach. We were not far from the bathroom. We were not far from the food. We were not far from the pool. We kind of had prime real estate on the beach. The entertainment on the beach was great. We had a great time there. The only thing about that, so you're at Bimini Beach Club from 8 in the morning until midnight. And, well, you have to get back on the ship at around 11:30. And they had food on the beach club for lunch. And they had a great spread for lunch. I forgot to film when we were eating lunch, but the chicken curry was so good. It was so flavorful. It was so tasty. The rum cake, I think I probably got a little inebriated off of that. It was definitely rum cake. The fresh fruit bowl, it was great. I really enjoyed I really enjoyed the lunch. And then they had like a light snack later on with they had roasted a couple of pigs, and then they turned that into, I believe it was like a quesadilla or something. I don't remember. I don't eat pork like that. And then it had like some other like salad and some other things and some more fresh fruit. Again, all the food was very, very tasty. But then after 6 o'clock, there was no more food. Like, they put it away at like 6, and that was it. And you were there until like 11:30. So I mean, there was nothing else to eat there. Nobody walked around with like baskets of Cheez-Its or nothing. It was just, that was it. So if you was hungry, you better have brought it with you. So other than that, we loved the ship. The food, we enjoyed pretty much everything that we ate on the ship. There was pretty much everything was tasty. There was a couple of incidents where things weren't seasoned quite as well. Like you could have added a little bit of Lowry's, a little bit of garlic salt, some Mrs. Dash, if you will. But other than that, it was pretty good. We had we ate at Gumbay, which was one of my favorite places to eat. The food was great, and the fun was had at the table. We were enjoying our table mates, and I think that made a difference for us as well, because we really had some fun table mates. But the food itself was absolutely delicious. Pink Agave was my second favorite. I love Mexican food, and it did not disappoint. The only thing, my sea bass was a little underwhelming. It was definitely could have used a little bit more seasoning. It was tender, but it definitely could have used a little sprinkle of something out the pantry. The Wake. We ate at the Wake, and we had the seafood and steakhouse. It was beautiful. The ambiance there was absolutely amazing. Will had a filet mignon. He said his filet mignon was actually seasoned really well. The sides were child, tiggity boo. They was tiggity boo. I was in love with them sides, honey. That baked potato, the asparagus, honey. Yes, it was. The sides were phenomenal. I mean, like, the sides really made the show at the steakhouse, really. I don't eat steak. So I ordered the salmon, and my salmon actually had caviar on top of it, which was kind of salty, so it made the salmon have more flavor. So I don't know if I would have taken the caviar off, if the salmon would have been as flavorful, but it was flavorful. It was good, but I don't know if it was the caviar that made it so. I ate at Razzle Dazzle. Will wasn't feeling too good that day, so I actually ate at Razzle Dazzle for brunch. And I really loved the kid in me was having a ball at Razzle Dazzle for brunch. The French toast with the sprinkles on it, the cookie jar, it was really good. Now, the actual breakfast with the vegetarian sausage and the egg and everything on it, again, I had to put a little extra salt and pepper on it. Now, again, that's one of those things, breakfast foods, I think people should season themselves anyway, because you don't know how salty I want my eggs or how salty I want my potatoes. But they definitely did not have any seasoning on them. I actually had to salt and pepper those myself. But overall, the food was really, really great across the board. Entertainment. Let's talk about the entertainment on the ship. In my opinion, entertainment and activities, this is where Virgin needs to step it up. They had some really great shows as far as the dual reality. Dual reality was great. I actually wound up not filming a lot of dual reality because it was so amazing. I didn't want to take my eyes off of it. So I kind of just put the camera away and just watched the show at the beginning. And I said I was going to, try to see it again at some point and really get some more footage of it. But honestly, I mean, you have to see it for yourself. You have to be there. You have to be in the atmosphere. But it was really, really great. Now, I was on the ship with other influencers who saw the show as well. They got a little bit more footage than I did, if you want to see more footage. Speaking of, we're going to pause for a commercial break here and let you know that like I said, I was on the cruise with other influencers, other content creators, and I want to give them a shout out right here, right now, and tell you to definitely go subscribe to their channel and watch their footage. Although we were all on the ship together and we did get to spend some time together on the ship, we all had different opinions. We all have different perspectives. We all saw different things. So to definitely get an overall view of what was going on our cruise, you definitely want to look at everybody's. So AK Adventures with Aaron and Kyra, Rich and Jazzy Life with Rich and Jazz, Addie and Terry with Addie and Terry, and Jay with the Ship Life. I'm going to go ahead and drop all of their links in the description box where you can go and subscribe to all of their channels, and definitely watch all of their videos to get a full encompassed view of what we saw on the ship. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. I did not get a chance to go to the Untitled dance show or whatever. From what I saw from it, I don't feel like I missed much. It looked like it was all over the place, which I think is the kind of was the point with it being called the Untitled dance show. It was just kind of all over the place, but that's not what I'm into. Sometimes, I'm just gonna be honest, I like a story. I want it to make some sense to me, but I mean, Virgin is trying to do things differently. There was random pop-ups of entertainment all over the ship where people would just be in a corner somewhere in a bar or something playing a guitar. Scarlet Night, honey, child. So I walked around the ship before Scarlet Night even got started on the day of Scarlet Night, and people were getting dressed. They were giving us complimentary clothes to put on. Don't know if that happened on any sailing thereafter, but it definitely happened on the MerMaiden voyage. I know we were given some surprises that other people weren't. The mermaids were there all throughout the cruise, so I know that was a big thing with the MerMaiden voyage. They definitely did it up for us on the maiden voyage. But we saw entertainment just kind of all throughout, and it was great. It was glorious. Scarlet Night was so much fun. We had a fantastic time up there. We were all dancing and singing and having a great time. And then again, that poured over to Bimini Beach, where we were all there dancing and playing in the pool with the mermaids and having a great time. But then afterwards, they did the bonfire, and it was more, folk music, and they was kind of dying things down, so they were playing the folk music, and it was a little weird to me. I'm just going to be honest. Will thought it was great. He was like, y'all had the DJ all day, calm things down now with the folk music under the moon with the fire. He was like, I like it, and I was like, it was a little weird to me. I felt like we was kind of howling at the moon, but whatever. There was one entertainment that we did not make it to the pajama party. We had our pajamas and everything, and I just fell asleep, y'all. So if y'all want to see footage of that, again, go to the other content creators' channels. They'll show it to you. But there was it was in the app where we talked about going to this thing that was going to be up on the pool deck, and the description of it. And that was kind of some of the thing with looking at things in the app and seeing what it was going to be, the entertainment was. The description didn't make me want to go to it. I don't remember what it was actually called, but I remember when Will and I looked at that in the description, we were like, what in the eyes wide shut is this? We ain't going to that. That sounds freaky deaky. I ain't doing it. And we didn't go. We was like, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to be a part. So some things, we were just like, Speaking of the app, that was one of the hardest things to deal with on the ship. Sometimes the app would work, sometimes it wouldn't work. Will got kicked off of our dinner reservations the whole time we were there, so we kept having to add him back to dinner reservations. And if you didn't have the app, you kind of didn't know what was going on. Unless you went out and looked at the board and looked out, on the different, by the elevators, they would have big boards that would tell you what were going on during the day, but you wouldn't really necessarily know what was happening if you didn't have the app. And if the app wasn't working, you were just kind of out of luck. Also, they didn't make announcements. That was one of the things that the captain said right out the gate, that they were not going to be interrupting your cruising time with making a lot of announcements like they do on other cruise ships, where they're like, at 4 o'clock, it's going to be bingo at this place. At 5 o'clock, it's going to be, trivia at this place. They didn't make any announcements like that. So if the app wasn't working, you didn't know where to go. You didn't know where to be. You didn't know what was happening. Even getting off the ship at embarkation time, we didn't know that we could get off the ship because no one made an announcement overhead that we were cleared to get off the ship. Like, we were standing around waiting, and then we finally asked someone, and they were like, oh yeah, you can get off. And we were like, oh, okay. Because, you got to wait until you're cleared once you get to the port. Once they tie up and wait till they get clearance from the port to let you off, you can't get off until that happens. So we were waiting for an announcement to know when we could get off the ship. So the non-announcement thing was great in the sense that we weren't constantly interrupted with what we were doing by announcements, but it was also, if you didn't have the app, you didn't know what was going on. Last but not least, value. So this cruise was gifted to us by Virgin Voyages. So we did not pay full price for this cruise. However, we did look up the cost, and we found out that during our MerMaiden voyage, it would have cost us for our room category and everything would have been about anywhere between $2,500 and $2,800, depending on when you booked it. So with all the things that were inclusive in that you received complimentary, the soda, the specialty dining, none of that was considered specialty dining that you would have had to pay for on other cruises. The steak and seafood house, the sushi, pink agave, gumbe, none of that was they were all specialty dining, but they were all complimentary. They were part of your cruise package. I think that for the value of that, adults only. We didn't have any children on our cruise, interrupting our cruise time. Not that we don't love kids, we have our own, but sometimes adults want to be adults. We want to have our own time. So the value for that, I think, was definitely there. The bar tab was, like I said, we paid for that, and we still enjoyed what we got out of the bar tab. I don't even think we actually cleared the whole bar tab, honestly. The things that you could pay additional for, like the seafood tower that we had, we'll upgrade it to the Wagyu platter and gambé. Things like that you can actually pay for to have upgraded, I think were great. But overall, if you would just pay the cost of the cruise and not purchase anything else, I think you would definitely have a value in that cruise. One of the things that were missing for me, with it being a different cruise line, with Virgin saying, hey, we're going to shake things up, we're going to do things differently, a couple of things that were missing for me as a seasoned cruiser that I've had on different cruise lines. If you noticed in all of our videos, there were never photographers roaming around taking your photo. That never happened. There wasn't a photo studio on board. There wasn't anything like that. And actually, I went to to this Virgin store where I got these shirts and some other, shot glasses and souvenirs, things like that. But one of the things that they did not have were picture frames. Now, this is a personal thing for me because that's actually one of the things that I use as a souvenir. Whereas some people buy shot glasses, magnets, all that type of stuff. I actually buy picture frames at the place where I'm at. I buy them on the ship. I buy them in the resort. I buy them at the port. I buy them when we're on vacation. Wherever we are, I always buy a picture frame with the name of the place that we were at. And then whatever my favorite memory is, that's the picture that goes into that frame. So with Virgin Voyages, there are so many Instagrammable places all over the ship where people are taking their own pictures. They're taking a picture with their phones, with their camera, whatever. They're taking their own picture or having someone take a picture of them in those Instagrammable places, and people are posting them online and everything. However, for me, I'm still kind of old school. I like a printed photo in my picture frame because that is my souvenir. So for me, that was kind of a okay, fine, be that way, but I understand. A lot of times people they try to sell you those picture packages that are $20 a photo, $200 to $300 for a package of photos, and it's just a lot. So Virgin Voyages said, we're not doing that, and it's okay. I understand it. It's just for me, especially like Scarlet Night, it would have really been nice to have a professional photographer around to take those pictures of us dressed up on Scarlet Night and to be able to put it in that frame. Anyway, that's my little 2 cents. So the value of it, Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady, is it a book or is it a bust? It's a book. We definitely will book it again. We enjoyed ourselves immensely, even with the challenges of the app, even with the challenges of embarkation and debarkation. For us, embarkation wasn't terrible. We didn't have to do a lot of checks. We showed our vaccination card. We got our swab. And within 30 minutes, we had our COVID test. We were on board. Some people, that was not the case. Debarkation, smooth sailing. We were able to get our own. Oh, that was another thing about not having announcements. We didn't find out till 11 o'clock at night. They put our luggage out at 10 o'clock p.m. with the luggage tags that were mailed to us to put on our luggage. That's how you were supposed to send your luggage down if you didn't want to walk your luggage off the ship. We didn't know that till 11 o'clock, so we had to take all of our own luggage off, which was fine, but it would have been nice if that one announcement would have been made prior to 10 o'clock so we would have known what to do, because we didn't get that notification in the app because the app wasn't working until after 11 o'clock. Anyway, we got off the ship in plenty of time. We're able to get our car to the airport, get our flight on time, all that fun stuff. So for us, embarkation and debarkation was, well, let me rephrase that. Embarkation was a bit of a hassle because they kept telling us to go to different lines when we first got there. But we saw when we got off the ship that they had fixed that. They had actually roped off some different places explaining where to go, what to do. So they kind of had gotten that under control. However, we did hear from some people that the times that they were waiting to get their COVID test at the port may not have been fixed. Some people got there at 2 o'clock, got their test, and didn't get the actual results until like 6 p.m. It was kind of a madhouse for some people. For us, that wasn't the case. So I hope they get that taken care of with, getting results back to people quickly, because it's stressful to be sitting in that little room waiting for a COVID test that determines whether or not you're actually going to sail. That's stressful. They should have those results back to people within 15 to 30 minutes so they're not sitting there stressing, thinking, oh my God, am I positive and I'm not going to be able to get on this ship. So anyway, that's my 2 cents as well. Is this a book or a bust? It's a book. We're definitely going to go again. We're definitely going to do probably a group. We're going to take some friends with us that we know would love a good adults only cruise with the expectations, with activities and entertainment. We now know what we're in for, so we understand what to look for now. So if you want to be a part of the group cruise, definitely hit us up. Let us know that you want to be a part of that group, and we will definitely add you to our mailing list. You can send your information to tsmith@trishstimelesstravels.com, and I will add you to my VIP mailing list to get you on the next upcoming group cruises that we're going to have shortly. If you need a travel agent, definitely, again, hit us up. You can hit me up on my website, trishstimelesstravels.com, and we will take care of you from there as well. We hope all your travels are timeless.